Subject of industrial management, and I will continue with the discussion about factors influencing plant layout, because the last 2 points got edited due to technical reasons. So when we were talking about factors influencing plant layout, very quickly we talked about the type of industry that will influence, the nature of plant location, that is whether it is in a rural or urban area. Then we talked about the nature of factory building or the physical aspects. Okay, we also talked about the features of the production process, and the space also we discussed, space in terms of handling materials, and also the space required for machineries. We also discussed the facilities and issues of the workers that needs to be taken into consideration, the management policies. Now, this is where it got edited. When we were supposed to be talking about the size of output. So when we talk about output here, we are basically talking about the nature of output. Okay, and whether it is standardized, whether it is customized, whether there is mass production, what is the weight, features of the product. So the product itself will be another important determinant in the case of plant layout. And the final point is relating to all the possible factors which will be taken under under the miscellaneous head. So when we talk about miscellaneous head, you could be discussing about the climate, the geography of that particular place, the light, is there plenty of natural light falling into this production unit, or whether artificial light has to be employed, or how are you going to regulate light, or maybe humidity, or maybe the temperature. Now you could be considering all these factors as well when we are going to discuss factors influencing plant layout. So this is all about factors influencing plant layout. We will now take our discussion further, and we will now discuss types of plant layout. There are 4 types of plant layout that you are expected to be familiar with. For today's discussion, I'll be taking only the first type of plant layout. Okay, so very quickly we'll have a look at what are the various types of plant layout that you could be interested in. One is the product or the line plant layout. Then you have the process or functional plant layout. Third is a combination of the above two. So it is termed as combination or a combined layout. Then we have the fixed position layout. Okay, fine. So you could have product or line layout. You could have process or functional process or functional layout. You could have combined layout, and you could have a fixed position layout. Now today we will be talking about the product or the line layout. So when we talk about the product or line layout, we are talking about, let me draw the diagram for you all for better understanding. So you will be having a number of machineries that are placed in a line. So that's the reason you have the term line. Okay, so you could have various machineries, not necessarily only 3 or 4. This is just a representative of what is happening in the case of plant layout. So you could number them or name them. So this is the entry point. This is the feeding takes place here. So there will be input here happening. Okay, so this is where they are receiving the material resources. Okay, these are the machineries. These boxes that you can see are the machineries that are being employed. Okay, so if you want, you can mark them as machineries. The boxes represent machineries. Okay, This is termed as the fabricating lines. The lines that you can see here are termed as the, so you could mark here and write, these are the fabricating lines. Okay, and these are the assembly lines. Okay, and then you have the output here. Okay, so this is where dispatch takes place. So you can see that the machines are arranged in a sequence, following a particular sequence. Okay, and it is in a straight line. It is always placed in a linear manner, in a straight line. This is another point that you have to keep in mind. The materials, there is a continuous flow of material. So from here it will move here, it will move here. Okay, and if at all further, if it is ready, it will move to the dispatch section. So there is a continuous flow, and the sequence is determined well in advance. So once the machinery is installed here, you cannot be shifting it and moving it. Once it is established here, installed here, it is for a lifetime, and unless and until you want to change, replace the machinery, or you want to bring about a change in the technology. So this is what you need to know about a product or the line layout. Now let's talk about the advantages. When we talk about the product layout, they enjoy certain advantages. One is in terms of speed. Okay, now there is no interruption happening here. Everything is worked out well in advance. Okay, so as a result, there are no unnecessary delays, bottlenecks and things like that. So the speed of production will be much higher. Immediately you finish with this job, you move here, you finish with this, and so on and so forth. So you can enjoy the advantage of speedy production. Then you could be using conveyor belt. Now look at the arrangement of the machineries, right? They are in a straight linear sequencing is followed. So as a result, you could have conveyor belts here, which will transport from here. You finish it, the production, whatever is required here, you can put it on your conveyor belt. It will move, it will come here, and so on and so forth. So conveyor belt and other material handling devices can be employed. Third is, there is less work in progress. So normally it's like in one go, it is continuous in nature. So you could have input at one end and output at the other. So normally it is very continuous in nature, and there is less work in progress to deal with. Supervision could also be higher, because you could be standing here and you could get a bird's view of all the machineries operating. So there is less on counting, inspecting, recording and other clerical jobs. Next is, so the fourth point we talked about, better supervision and monitoring happening. Fifth is, you could work as per your work schedule. See, you know the capacity of this plant, you know the capacity of this, machinery. You got the workload that this particular machinery can handle. So you know the capabilities and capacity of each machinery that is being employed. So you can take up jobs accordingly. So your plans can be worked out well in advance. Next is this optimum use of floor space. Okay, so you know this is the area that is available and how many machines you can employ and how best to make good use of the flow material. So floor space is also possible. Next is, it reduces the cost of production. Okay, why? Because machines, the floor space is optimally used, the machines are effectively placed, supervision is less. So as a result, you can cut down on the cost. You could also avoid bottlenecks. So in the last discussion I told you what are bottlenecks: jamming taking place. So at no point will there be a congestion happening. So everything is spaced out properly, planned out properly, so the possibility of bottlenecks is also reduced. In terms of time, you could be again effectively using your time, which is important. Okay. And it also cultivates a sort of a team spirit. So everybody is working together in this particular fabricating line. So they work as a family. There is mutual coordination, understanding, and they adapt to each other's needs as far as handling the material is concerned. So these are the advantages. We talked about speed. What have we discussed under speed? Yes, that since there is no interruption happening, everything is well planned out, right? So you can concentrate on the speed of work. You could also be using conveyor and other methods of quick material handling, because the machines are well arranged in a predetermined manner. The possibility of work in progress is relatively lower in this layout. Supervision cost is also much lower because you have a better bird's view of what is happening. Then you could also be working as per work schedule. You know the capacity of each machine, and you know where they are placed and how best to make good use of these machineries. So you could work out on this schedule. Then you could also use the floor space optimally. So you know this is the space that is available, and how many machines you can place in a line, and how best you can use the space that is allotted to your machineries. Okay, then you could also bring down the cost of production by ensuring that the machines are used to their full capacity, that supervision is taking place effectively, that there are no congestions happening, and everything, and you inject an element of productivity in the production process. You also can avoid bottlenecks because you know where to place your machines. Whether you need a conveyor belt, how are you dealing with your material handling issue? Yes, how is supervision taking place? So bottlenecks can be avoided, congestion can be avoided. You can also save a lot of your time. So these are some of the advantages that you could be talking about. Now, what are the disadvantages? What are the disadvantages? Yes, let us talk about the disadvantages as well. So when we talk about the disadvantages, the first thing that is required is heavy capital investment. Keep in mind that we are talking about number of machineries here. Okay, so this requires huge heavy investment, at least in the initial stage. So capital investment may not be affordable to everybody. So there could also be loss of productive time. Okay, loss of productive time. When will this happen? Let us say this machinery breaks down. So work can be carried out on this machinery, and it will come to a stop because this particular machinery has broken down. So all the subsequent machineries cannot be employed unless this is repaired. So a breakdown of one machinery stops the entire work. So that is another factor you have to keep in mind. Then we could also be talking about the inflexible nature. Machines cannot be interchanged. If this is not working, you cannot replace, overlook or skip, bypass this machinery and jump to this machinery. So that again is another limitation of this layout. So it is very rigid and inflexible in nature. Okay. Then in the long run, it could be expensive. If you want to replace this machinery, again you need heavy investment, and whether the new machinery is compatible with the other machinery. So you will have to work out and look into these factors as well. Then idle production capacity. What is idle production capacity? If the machines are not employed in a effective manner, then if they are not optimally utilized, you are getting into the possibility of keeping your machines idle. And then finally, you could have ineffective supervision. ineffective supervision reflects to the type of supervision undertaken. So if one person is given the entire fabricating line, it may not be possible. So you may have to employ 2 people or more people to undertake the supervision job, which again may not be really helpful in terms of cost of production. Okay, so these are some of the disadvantages. Very quickly I will repeat what it is. One is heavy capital investment is required, especially at the start of the layout, because you have to buy a number of machineries. It could lead to loss of productive time. If any one machinery breaks down, all the subsequent machineries are remaining idle, and a lot of time is lost, money is lost. So there is a possibility of loss of productive time. Next is the entire system is expensive, because if entire system is expensive, because if you want to replace a new machinery, you want to replace an old machinery with a new one, you have to see whether it is compatible to the other machineries, or whether you have to change the entire set of machinery. So again, it could be expensive. Next is rigidity. When we talk about rigidity, is that one machine cannot be bypassed, and you cannot continue the work by bypassing any machinery. So a breakdown of one machinery will influence and impact the functioning of the entire product line. Next is the idle capacity, the optimum capacity of every machinery. Some of the machineries may remain idle and are underutilized. So this again could be another issue, or the negative aspect, limitation of. And finally, there is supervision issue, whether one person is suitable or you would require a number of people supervising, and what is the impact of this decision on the cost of production. When we talk about product layout, or line layout, some of the best industries examples that can be quoted is in terms of textile, sugar, paper, okay, where you have to undergo number of processing by machineries. Okay, thank you.